They're very, very strong. They're maybe 3 or 4 years into a very serious training program, a fitness program in Tipperary. A lot of these players, and Pádraig Maher, Michael Cahill, all of these lads, Bonner Maher, are going to get stronger as the game progresses.
Lots of animation on the sideline. Owen Kelly has to just compose himself right in the middle of the park. Dropping short. And it's put in the back of the net by Shane Burke. 54 minutes gone. Shane Burke has come off the bench and he has produced what might well be the goal that will turn this around in Tipperary's favour. It's his first ever championship goal, and the 23-year-old jumps with joy. Keeper came, didn't get it, Burke did, and it's 2-13 to 14 points. Well, Michael, you were talking about Tipperary taking a firm grip at this time in the match. It's similar to the game against Cork, happened against Limerick as well.
Absolutely, and particularly up this left wing, Michael Cahill, Pádraig Maher, Brendan Maher and Lara Corbett in the second half. Here's Shane Burke again.
Lost it. Michael Welch goes back, rolls it up onto the stick. There are 5 points between them. There's still plenty of time left, and Shane Burke, who's fresh and eager, robbed a colleague of his at UCC, Philip Mahoney, but Mahoney got the ball back. At the moment, Waterford down to 14 players. Here's Owen Kelly. Seamus Prendergast being attended to. John Milan runs into Conor O'Mahony and gets a free. And there's a chance to get one back. And Conor O'Mahony been spoken to by the referee, Cathal McAllister, and there's a yellow card for that.
Be getting soft goals like that.
The 40 Mars okay. John Casey, the physio, doing his job. Boris Shanahan needs to put this over. Oh dear. It could all. You've got to think about Owen Kelly now for Waterford, also a very, very good free taker. He's an option. 50-50 possession, but the all-important scoreboard you see there, bottom or top left-hand corner. And it's in favour of Tipperary as Milan comes out to forage. Seamus Prendergast has recovered. Back in towards Paul O'Brien, trying to make an impact, struggling so far. Back to Prendergast again. Now Tony Brown on his return to the championship team. And Tony Brown has put it wide. That's 2 in a row now. And Seamus Prendergast is going to go after it. The next score is going to be very important from Waterford's point of view. They need to get it. John Milan breaks a stick, but gets it into Maurice Shanahan. Shanahan just about stays on his feet. Finds a man outside him, it's Owen Kelly, and it's stopped by Brendan Cummins. Conor O'Brien trying to get it away, in difficulty, but manages to do enough to get it out. Another potential turning point there for this match, even though there are 5 between them. What a goal for Waterford would have done for their hopes and their chances. But they're still attacking, they're still pressing forward, and it's Tony Brown, well blocked by Noel McGrath, back defending, showing himself to be a true all-rounder. Michael Walsh back in again into the heart of the Tipperary defence. Tip buoyed by that second goal. Out by Mickey Cahill. Towards Bonner Maher. Breaks it down, but it's Malumphey again. Storming back into the match. Milan again. That's a difficult one to take, and as Kevin Moran has taken it, he's played so well. And he's put this one off the post, and it comes back down towards Shane Welch. Got the first point, well blocked, great defending by Conor O'Brien. Well, the Tipperary full back line has performed heroics. Stapleton does well, he's lost his stick, needs his keeper. Cummins dodges away, O'Brien gets out of his way, and Cummins makes an 80-metre clearance into the hands of Patrick Bonner Maher. And Bonner Maher up in towards John O'Brien, lets it roll on to Noel McGrath, and McGrath strikes it over the bar. Tipperary get their scores relatively easily, or make it seem easy. Waterford have to work so hard and denied by stout defence at the other end.
Well, that's it, Gerard. That's what I was saying. Noel McGrath is so economical. You know, he's 3 chances, 3 points since the game started. Waterford, all the hard work up this end, had 2, 3, maybe half goal chances and didn't take any of them.
Prendergast still going forward, looking for the next score, and that one has gone wide as well. And
A great catch again by Seamus Prendergast, but the difficulty there, Ger, was, and the last few balls, the support is not there. The legs are going on them. Tipperary are finishing stronger. They're moving much better. And when Seamus Prendergast had no one to lay that ball off, and it was only a half chance, and he had to go for it.
6 points the margin. Kevin Moran reaches for this one, doesn't get it, and he's chasing after Lark Corbett now, and Lark Corbett lays it up to John O'Brien. Couldn't take it into his hands, however. And Waterford have an opportunity to get it out once again. Out to Stephen Malonfy. Back down to the forwards. Down towards Owen Kelly. Didn't catch it. Couldn't take it. Conor O'Brien could. Into the middle of the park. Shane McGrath, former All-Star. Noel McGrath. And just composed himself. Looked up at the target. But puts it wide on this goal in the Munster final. Waterford thinking about another change. And Martin O'Neill from
Number 14,
Mount Sion is going to come on, and it's the player who's coming off is going to be Shane Walsh.
And Ger, I hope the people at home watching realise what a great match this is. I don't, you know, looking at it sometimes on television can be different, but the effort of every player out there, the excitement, the honesty of every one of the players is unbelievable, and the pace of the game has never dropped since the first minute.
Don't forget, tonight we've got highlights of so many good games and so 10 minutes in which to do it. That's including a minute or so of stoppage time. 10-11 minutes. This one has to go over, and that one did go over. It's one back. Number 18 in place of Tony Brown, and listen to the applause he's getting. One of the great heroes of this game. Oh, he deserves that. He's a legend, Tony Brown.
Well, probably the most remarkable career maybe since, you know, longevity, since maybe Christy Ring or John Doyle or people like that. He's been around so long.
That has come back to Stephen Malonfy. Dropped down here by Milan. He's having to come way out the field. The ball just wasn't going into him. Nagel unable to keep the ball in play with his first touch. So it's a line ball to Tipperary, and there are 62 minutes gone. 2-14 to 15 points. In points, that's 20 to 15, 5 between them. Waterford needing a goal.
Yeah, there hasn't been anything in it. You know, we saw who was Paul O'Brien there had a ground shot, smart save by Brendan Cummins. Owen Kelly had a half chance. Shane Walsh had another ball in around the square there. He's blocked down. You know, they have created a few half chances for goals without really threatening one.
Not the greatest of line balls. Lar couldn't do much about it. Goes short. Milan, change of direction. Lar blocks it down, does really well. Back in by Shane McGrath. Inside towards Shane Burke, goal scorer. Bonnermore, and he's pulled down, and that's going to be a free in. Cynical challenge, it has to be said, by Michael Brick Walsh, but he was trying to prevent a certain goal by this man, Patrick Bonnermore.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what Bonnermore does brilliantly. Broke onto that ball, he was straight through, and Brick Walsh, you know, going to get a yellow card, rightly so. And Jerry, we talked about the Waterford full forward line in the first half. They scored 5 points from play. John Milan and Shane Walsh between them. They haven't scored in the second half. The Tip full back line have been, especially Michael Cahill, Conor O'Brien, have been excellent in the second half. And on the other end of the field, Tip full forward line have scored 1-8.
Owen Kelly puts it over the bar, doesn't need to do anything too dramatic with it. A point will do at this stage. And there's going to be another change. And it's a Tipperary change this time. And number 22, Dunamar, is coming on.
Yeah, you're just saying there, like the Achilles heel for Waterford last year was their full back line with goals, but Tip have still managed 1-8 in there. John O'Brien with 1-3, Noel McGrath with 3 points, and Brian O'Mara with 2 points.
Bodymar, this time held back by Stephen Malonfy. And this time, no question about the freeze being awarded. Facing the inevitable, 6 between them. Odds on Tipperary to win this. Bonnermar loses it. Waterford try to win it back there, and Malonfy not giving up the ghost. Back out here once more. Jamie Nagel this time has come in for Tony Brown. Paul O'Brien leaving it there for Maurice Shanahan. Shanahan trying to go by Paul Curran, making a better angle for himself, and he's put this one over the bar. It's an 8th point for Maurice Shanahan. So it's back to 5 between them again. They had those opportunities, however, that went astray, and there were 1 or 2 good saves by Brendan Cummins as well.
Yeah, doing anything.
Yeah, what a substitution, as you say. Player who was out with injury for so much of the last 6 months. Good to see him back. Brendan Cummins pucking it out. Huge one. Tipperary winning it there. Kelly once again. Beautiful ball into Lark Corbett. 4 last year, looking for 1 here, didn't get it. He was trying to lay it off in the end there. And there's a chance for Waterford. Martin O'Neill this time, the substitute, knocking it down here. Milan's after it, looking for a Waterford goal, and Milan is hauled down outside the large square, so it's going to be a free in a conventional 20-metre free. This time desperation stuff by Tipperary to prevent John Milan, and this time equally cynical, so it's
nearly as if he wants to be, you know, he was out all year, he wasn't playing, I'm back in the team, lads, and I'm trying to help you all out here, and this is why I'm here, and the selfishness maybe that you need at times is not there today. He has to go for a goal here.
Owen Kelly, as you say, must go for it. Clock showing 67 minutes gone. Kelly stopped. Brendan Cummins, 65. Good work once again by Brendan Cummins. Not to be denied, refusing to concede a goal here. And he's kept 4 clean sheets in Munster finals up to now, and he's set to keep a 5th.
Yeah, good save there. And here's John Milan. Took on Paul Kern there, and Kern pulled him down. Cynical foul, and led to that free, but it wasn't scored now. Now it was 65 with Owen Kelly. And you'd have to say Brendan Cummins has been kept busy. Waterford haven't managed a goal, but you know there has been 4 or 5 times that they've had chances and they haven't taken any of them.
Owen Kelly with the 65, and Owen Kelly has put this one wide. Well, that's infuriating, and I'm sure the Waterford fans are just saying to themselves, why can't he put it over the bar? He's usually such a brilliant player.
Well, that's 3 frees and a 65 now, Jared. That'd be 20 points. You know, there'd only be a point in it if they were all scored.
Instead, it is Tipperary who continue to lead. Kevin Moran goes up for this one. Helped out here by Noel Connors. On as far as the substitute, Jamie Nagle. And Jamie Nagle lands it into the middle of Brendan Cummins. Tuck a chest tie. Welch gets it back out. Waiting for it, Lark Corbett of Tipperary. Here's Brendan Marr. Steady play as far as Owen Kelly. Change of direction to drift back Lawler and to send it high and put it over the bar. And just to remind everybody what an absolutely brilliant player this man still is. Still a young player, Owen Kelly.
That's a brilliant point. You know, again, intelligent hurling. Short pass to him and over the bar, where Jamie Nagle got the previous ball and pucked it into Brendan Cummins. Didn't try to pick out a forward at all on the run.
Once again, it's Kevin Moran who goes, takes, and brings it away once more. Played his heart out. Still going after it, but this time the chance falling to Paddy Marr to just try and close the door there and get it back out again by Owen Kelly. Kelly being the provider now for much of the second half. Noel Connors. We're in the 70th minute. Owen Kelly for Waterford dispossessed there by substitute Donamar. Comes back here towards Shane Burke, goal scorer with number 2, and that's another one over the bar.
And Jerry, I really like this guy, Shane Burke. I think he scored, I think it was 3-3 in the league last year down against Galway. He's a very, very good forward. You see there, great first touch, quick turn, he's very quick on his feet, and a very good score.
Well, we're almost into stoppage time as Conor O'Mahony knocks it back once again. And how dispiriting it must be for Waterford at this stage. Back in the Munster final, same old opponents, same ground as well. But at least this time they can hold their heads up high. They've battled hard, and they're still doing so. Maurice Shanahan, players are calling for it. Shanahan's blocked down, comes back out. They still can't get it to the loose man who was John Milan, waiting, lurking. And the pile-up will eventually end up with the referee. The elephant in the room here, and that is they could be playing Kilkenny in a semi-final of the All-Ireland. That ball's gone wide.
Yeah, it could be. But Kilkenny have a quarter-final. You know, we're going to have Waterford in the draw tomorrow morning. We're going to have Clare in there and
Cork are there as well. Limerick.
Cork and Limerick, yeah.
And there's the final whistle. The Munster Championship has been retained by Tipperary. 2 in a row for them. They came good really in the second half, and they brought in Owen Kelly just before half-time, and he became the provider for many fine scores. But the critical second goal was scored by Shane Burke, one of their substitutes.
That eventually Tony is substitution, but Waterford for me should have left, or should have made sure that Kevin Moran was the follow Lara at that stage, because he orchestrated things in the second half. Maybe could have got 2 or 3 points himself, but it shows the player he is. He always wants to give the ball to maybe somebody in a better position. Today he needed to be a bit more selfish, and he could have got 3 or 4 points, but they deserve their win.
Ger?
Well, the most pleasing thing for Declan Ryan will be the form of his defence today. You know, we said beforehand how they were so open against Cork, very loose, giving away 24 points. They were rock solid today, very tight, gave very few chances of goals, and every one of them, you know, we said, you know, the Waterford the Tip full back line cleared no ball the last day. They were absolutely outstanding today, every one of them. Mickey Cahill back to his best, Conor O'Brien very good. This man here, Paul Curran, excellent at full back. You know, there was a structure to Tipperary today and a solidness about them they didn't have in the games up to now. They're building momentum. They were better again today than they were the last day. They're heading to Croke Park now in great form, and anything is possible.
Let's hear from Paul Curran, the Tip captain.
Either, like, he didn't go, and he missed the 65 into compounded also. Once they didn't go in and score there, like the last 7 or 8 minutes just fizzled out. There's always Tip going to win.
OK, let's hear from the winning manager. That's Tipperary's Declan Ryan. He is talking to Claire McNamara.
Declan, congratulations, you've retained your Munster title. A bit tougher this year though.
Yeah, not more than we were expecting, I suppose. You know, we're delighted to come in level there at half time. I think we hadn't played particularly well in the first half, but delighted with the guys knuckled down there in the second half, and I think they finished very strongly.
Yeah, it was very much in the balance, obviously level at half time, but your substitutes really made a difference. Shane Burke's goal in particular, obviously. Yeah,
it's great to, you know, people like Shane to bring in there, Shane and Owen and Shane McCallan and these guys. You know, fantastic introduction for Shane there today. He stuck one in the back of the net, and that's what all forwards like to do. But I think the guys showed a lot of character today, even though we weren't at our best. They battled away to the end, and we finished out the game.
You finished very strongly those final 20 minutes. You looked to the fitter, sharper team.
Yeah, well, the guys have been working very hard there since the 1st of January. You know, they've a huge amount of work put in, and I think it's paid off in our last couple of games and paid off again today.
Were you happy to see Lara come through 70 minutes?
Yeah, great to see Lara back. You know, he's been putting in a huge effort there. You know, his touch probably wasn't as good as it could have been up to now, but he got on plenty of ball today. I'm sure he'll be delighted with himself.
He seemed a bit nervous to shoot himself, though. He was passing it off there a lot.
Well, yeah, Lara's always a team player, you know. I know he's known for scoring goals and that, but he's always a team player, so maybe we'll have to have a chat with him there in training.
Now, you must be delighted with, I suppose, the progression. You're into an All-Ireland semi-final now, so good momentum building up by Tipperary.
Yeah, we've come through a pretty stiff challenge in Munster, you know. I suppose getting to the All-Ireland semi-final was what we were after today, and we've achieved that. So the Munster Championship is over now, and we look forward to the All-Ireland series.
And much talk, I suppose, about potentially meeting Kilkenny there, though they have a game to go yet.
Yeah, we hadn't given it any consideration before today. You know, all our focus today was on Waterford and playing as well as we could against Waterford. And you know, I think we didn't achieve that, but I think we have a bit of work to do.
Well done today, Declan. Thank you.
Thanks very much.
That, of course, is Declan Ryan.
First half, and we just said, lads, let's up it now a small bit, and thanks be to God we got a goal that gave us a bit of breathing space there in the second half.
I don't think it was a 7-point game. We had a few chances in the second half. We had a couple of goal chances and we missed a few frees as well, but that happens. At the end of the day, Tipperary are an excellent team, and I'd just like to congratulate them because they fully deserve their victory.
Well, Eddie Brennan, was it a 7-point game?
Probably was in the end. Des, I suppose it wasn't your classic Munster final. It wasn't the typical Munster final clash, but conditions were very difficult. In fairness to both teams, I think Michael Dighton, hit the nail on the head with it. Hard conditions for hurling, but both of them gave, honesty, and there was good intensity in it. But certainly there was a lot of, I suppose, maybe unforced errors and a lot of missed opportunities from both sides. But I think Tip were deserving winners.
In terms of missed opportunities, Don, was that the difference? Were Tipperary better at taking their chances than.
Well, I suppose they probably created more, Des, if you went through the stats and whatever else, and I think that from the word go, I think, you know, once they fell 4 points behind, and once they got that goal, the early goal, then they created other opportunities for themselves. But I think Michael Duggan said in the commentary as well that they had a number of point opportunities that they could have just tapped the ball over the bar and possibly gone away from Waterford.
We have a look at that. Yeah.
All credit to Waterford, they fought back to level by half time, but, you know, you'll see, right, the first thing here again, like, is, you know, typical steal there by Bernard Maher. You know, this is what he's very, very good at. And great angle run there by John O'Brien. The run there makes it for Bernard Maher and a great goal. And, you know, possibly Tip then decided, well, you know, we got the first one, you know, we got 6 or 7 last year. Let's plough on. And, you know, I think that, you know, Lark Corber's typical run, I think he could have gone himself there. Right? I think that was a mistake. He tried to play in Pa Burke, who was marked by 2. You know, that was a goal chance if he had gone on himself. And, you know, breaking ball, John O'Brien again picked it off the ground, I think, but, you know, that was a difficult angle. I can see, you know, Keefe was at the goal, tapped it over the bar there when the goal chance is gone. And, you know,
the result though proved that goals win games. I mean,
it does.
Well, it does, and, you know, there was the long range free. I suppose this killed this for a while for Waterford. You know, blunder there from inexperience really from Stephen O'Keefe. Could have just stayed in line and let the ball go in, and that's unfortunate for the young keeper, and simple task for, you know, for Buck, who came in there, right? So, you know, you would look at it, and I thought Tip kind of hurled a little bit within themselves. They weren't really driving on, but I think they deserved a 7-point victory in the end.
Well, even Lara seems to be very reluctant to have a pop today. I mean, there were several opportunities he had, which is, you know, normally just, as Donald said, a couple of handy points, and he was very enthusiastic about playing other lads in. So whether he's the playmaker now or what, I don't know.
He's flicks and tips.
What?
He's trying to little flicks and tips, like maybe Joe Canning's back past the last year's getting the fellas.
Well, that might make other defences nervous going forward. What about Waterford, though? They did have a lot of chances, Eddie.
They did, yeah. I suppose when they look back on the match, 15 minutes out, I think, you know, the game was maybe slipping away from it. And, you know, Maurice Shannon maybe missed 2 frees, and Tony Brown, and we'll see a few misses here. And I suppose when they look at it, really, the match was definitely there. As Donald said, Tip kind of just done enough to keep the cushion there. Once they got the second goal, that was the difference. But Waterford just, I suppose they were trying to force the issue at this stage, and just this with Owen Kelly, I mean, it's a decent chance, but I mean, Brendan Cummins is a top keeper, so I suppose you don't want to be taking pot shots at him either. You either get in nice and close, or in them instances, I think if they had to have chipped away at the points there, I think there's every opportunity they'd have been very close. But this was a great opportunity, and so the one, you know, when you look at Conor O'Mahony here, he has to step in on Maurice Shannon, and just a simple pop pass to Milan, and you put your mortgage on John to put that away. It was the one chance that probably was a better goal chance than the other ones they had tried to force. So I suppose for Waterford, they'll definitely look at it as a match. They could have been a lot closer. Like there was just a lot of wides. Now I know,
but there were positives for them, weren't there, for Waterford?
They created a lot of chances.
They did. Well, it's time to name our man of the match from this afternoon. It was the choice of our co-commentator Michael Dignan, and he went for a Waterford man. He went for Waterford's Kevin Moran.
You have to take your opportunities on the day, and Tip got a couple of goals, and unfortunately we couldn't get them today. But you know, some days they go for you and some days they don't. But you know, we restored a little pride after last year's humiliation. So on that side of things, it's good. But we're still disappointed that we didn't come out on top.
Kevin, congratulations. You are the GAA Hurling Man of the Match, and Tara Clifford from Centre is here to present with you with your award. Congratulations.
All right, then, well done to Kevin. Well, now we're going to turn our attention to